Right, so I low-key leaks my password, so I have to record this again, but oh well. Yeah, editing fiercest man, or this man fears editing. So I was just talking about 010 Editor. For those who don't know, 010 Editor is an application for dealing with hex data, right? For like hex editing, for like reverse engineering and stuff. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but if you want to find out more, it's there. I do have it installed on the system, but the main thing is that it is not free. It is closed source, and it is not free. There is a free trial, and little hint, there are ways to reset it very easily, but even so, it is not free. So I mean, it's a hassle, which makes it harder to like recruit new people, because you know I'm part of a modding community as an admin, and I would like more people to get into reverse engineering, but it's already hard if like they're met with a paywall immediately, right? And it's closed source, so it's one person, which means it gets less updates than a new one. Well, I say new, it's like, well, yeah, I mean, it's new in comparison. ImHex. Now, I did use ImHex a while ago for my own, like, well, to see how it competed. But this was like early stages, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, so it was quite primitive. But since then, I believe it's come a long way. I checked the GitHub, because, by the way, this is free and open source, and I saw that it was sponsored by JetBrains, it was sponsored by AWS, right, the Amazon Web Services or whatever, web servers, whatever, and yeah, it's pretty cool. So I want to install the nightly version, I think, nightly build, but I need to know how to do that. Or maybe I don't care. I don't know. So let's yay the ImHex. There's nothing. That's weird. How do I see which files are in the database, right? Pacman D? Have to be roots? Okay, let me... I did have to call this a while ago. Yay? Pacman? Data... base... Goddamn. Okay. Fuck me. How do I check which packages are available to download via yay / pacman? SS. SI. Okay, so it's SS. Would never guess that. So it's yay SS ImHex. So you got patterns on Git, access Git, bin, and this. ImHex has a nicely and stable release. How do I target the nightly release? Is there? ImHex, bin, git, and patterns. Yeah, I don't see it. Could probably check online, maybe? Yeah. Oops. What the hell? Oi! Here we go. I guess it's not there? Oh well, whatever. I'll just install it normally then. Yay, S, ImHex. Yep. Whatever. Defaults. How big is it actually? Does it say? I can't tell. Yeah, there it is. 94 meg. Oh, goddamn. Okay. Why are Linux apps so small? Low-key. Yeah, so when it does all this, is it compiling? By the way, what it does that? There's actually a preview here, but yeah. So I didn't really mention I use reverse engineering for well, I use hex editors for game stuff mainly. I've done different games, but the main one I use is the Kojo games by Cyberconnect 2, like All Star Bachelor, Eyes of Heaven, and I do have this repository for them. But yeah, so with 010 editor, oh my god, I didn't mention. So 010 editor, if we have a quick look at it, you'll see it has, hex stuff as you'd expect, but it also has templates. So this is template results, right? And you can see it's all color coded, and I can see all this information about the file, and like what its data entails. And that's because of this thing called the binary template. It's a DSL, right, by the user editor, which allows you to declare how a file is laid out, how it's structured, whatever, and like you can color code it and all that, and it's like C-like, and it's very good. It's very good indeed. Okay, and I use it I've used it to make my own system for parsing xfmin files, which is the container format for the Kojo games, and really Cyberconnect 2 projects in general, using their own engine and UCC, whatever, but it's good, but it's C-like, it's quite dated. It gets updates, by the way, and like every update is a banger, but like I do wonder if ImHex could just be better, because it's open source, there's more people contributing to it. And when I checked the patterns here thing, I have not read into this, by the way, but just looking at it like briefly, you can see it says it's a custom C++ and Rust inspired language, which makes me quite optimistic, because I like C++ more than C, and because I think like having like namespaces and stuff would just be good, and also Rust is quite good too. Quite good. It's very good. So yeah, so it's literally just building from source. This one is 21st of May. No, that's me. Yeah, it's making the package. Why can't I just like install the binary? Is that my fault for not choosing like the bin option? Uh-oh. What happens if I get just ImHex? Yikes. So ImHex git would be the one I want. Damn it, why did I build from source? Is there any benefit to building from source? Okay. So let me go for nightly then. Is it still installing? Okay, let me abort. Does it clean up? It does. Okay. Okay, so that's yay install ImHex git. It might still build from source. Yeah, no, it will. But hopefully it's at least like faster. I mean, not faster, but nightly. That's what I mean. Just checking if I need to do anything here. Lots of cloning. Okay, yeah. So this is nightly. Right, so it seems to be going through the thing again. Performing tests and stuff. Looks good. Okay, I'll leave it. Right, so I guess in the meantime, I'll just have a look through this. So... oh yeah, also, I watched the Boys finale yesterday. and goddamn, it was mediocre. Honestly, it made me quite sad because I've been following the show since since season 1, right? And goddamn, it was quite mediocre. It's a shame, but you know what? That's what happens with these shows. I mean, it's not just a bit confusing. Like Kripke, like whenever I look at his interviews, and he's like, "Oh, you know, I wanted to make Homelander just a what's the fucking word? A parody of Trump, but Anthony Starr pulled me back and said, no, you know what? How about we give him some character depth? Like, how do you say that in an interview, just like so willy nilly? You know, it's like, bro, like, do you not realize that we don't want just a Trump parody? Like, we want actual good writing. Yeah. Anyway, so I guess we'll look at the pattern language because that's the most important thing. The main thing. I have no idea if I'm going to switch to this, by the way. ImHex. Like, I personally would probably just keep using 010 editor, but if it is powerful, then I would be happy to use it. So the pattern language is a C++ and Rust-inspired DSL that was developed for the ImHex editor to easily define and decode binary structures found in files or memory. Right, so let me move myself here so I'm not covering the thing for now. Yeah. Okay, so simple example, we have a file that follows this specification. Where are we, by the way? Just there, I guess. So you go to offset, uint, description count. Okay, so that's a table. Oh yeah, also I was thinking, like, how do I, if I want to document these outside of templates, what's like the best way to do that? Like to document a file's format. I do wonder how I can go about that. Yeah, wait, if I look this way, or I look this way. Yeah, that's fine. So, because like there is a JoJo's modding wiki, but yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how I've done it so far. I think I haven't done anything. It's more because like these structs and stuff are the main issue. But anyway, so we start with the minimal definition and refine it step by step. So first, the basic structure. The file starts at 0x0. Yep. So you have this here. Nice. You have animation bank at 0x0, and the first 4 bytes are the number of animations in the file count. Right. So you have animation bank, and that's a struct, and that's automatically applied. Okay. Now you know how many animations the file contains. We can define an array to store them. So you have animations count. Right, and that uses this variable. Okay, and it does use like U32s and like int and stuff, which is good. 00 editor doesn't support U32, I don't think. I think it only supports uint32 as like a name, which is a bit goofy, but okay. Struct animation. Right. Each animation contains an offset, which defines the position of the animation entry. Through this offset, so you can read each animation entry. Entry at offset. Ooh, that's cool. Okay, so that's quite convenient. The way 010 editor works is like it's sequential, or like procedural, I guess is the word, where you can't like do like this at thing, where you specify the location. Instead, you would like fseek like later in the file, or like fpause, or like ftell to get the correct position, and like pointer arithmetic and stuff like that. Whereas here, you just do at, which is quite concise, right? I wonder how it handles big and little endian as well, because that's very relevant. With the offsets and entry in place, you can now define the actual contents of an animation entry. Nice. Parent.count. So parents. Okay, so parents will get this count. I see. Yeah. So I do wonder about having parent.count, because like you don't really know if parent will even have count, right? So I always find that a bit dodgy. I would much prefer if like animation can pass the count into animations, or like into the animation struct, like pass it in as data. That'd be a lot better. So data types, built-in types. So you got U8. Yeah, so U8, U2. Oh, you got UT4 as well. U32, U48, U64, U96, U2128. Oh yeah, fair enough. I mean, you don't really see other sizes too often, but it's possible, right? Although, I wonder why not just have like, whoops, Sorry, let me fix my OBS real quick. Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't have like just custom things in general, but maybe, I mean, maybe you can, I don't know. Signed integers, interesting. So rather than having U and I, it's U and S, which I think is the way to go. Anyway, so we got S8, S16. Well, I mean, I guess the issue is that S can be like confused with like a string though. So like I don't blame languages like Rust for using I24, I32 or I32, whatever. But okay, so this uses S, so that's already a distinction. Floating is float and double. Not guaranteed on most on platforms. Ooh, so it's not guaranteed. That's, it kind of has to be guaranteed though, or else you can't really like run the templates on different systems. Yeah, that's also dodgy. What do you mean usually? Like, can you not just enforce it? No. Float and double. It doesn't have half floats, it seems, which is also problematic. I think the editor does through hfloat, and then you have char 16, bool. 0 editor doesn't have bools for some reason, even though like flags are really common in hex stuff. Stir can only be used in functions. Okay, so otherwise you have to do char array, and auto also for functions only. Okay, why is there no support for hfloat? That's really weird. Endiness. Default operating types are interpreted in native endiness. Oh my god, bruh. So it interprets the machine. I mean, yeah, that's fair, I guess. But like, you should be able to specify, right? You can override this on defaults on a global, per type, or per variable basis. Simply prefix any type with LE or BE. Fair enough. So you get LE U32, BE double. Very cool. And to set it globally, you'd use the endiness pragma. So hashtag pragma, endian big, endian little, endian native. Okay. Okay, so there is a preprocessor. Which honestly is, I mean, like for a scripting language, like it does make it faster, right? So literals are fixed values. So these are decimal integers, like base 10. Unsigned, so they're signed by default. Yeah. And the 32-bit by default. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to use this anyway. Really. Enums. Yes, let's see enums. Enums are a data type that consists of a set of named constants. They're particularly useful for associating meaning to value found in memory. Yep. So E16, plain, compressed, encrypted, good for like flags and stuff. Okay. What's this? Alright, it's just showing the ordering. The type following the colon after the enum name declares the enum's underlying type and can be any built-in data type. This type only affects the enum size. Yeah. Okay. Enum range. Oh, that's cool. Okay, yeah, ranges are cool. Although, what's the extent of the range? Can you like make it different? Arrays, like I have like 0x0, like can I have like 0 to 9 and then like have also 12 to 13, but not 10 to 11, right? Arrays are contiguous. You have constant sized and unsized. Right, so unsized is for null termination, which is good. I like that. Loop sized array. Also, unlike other languages, you can actually make it on a runtime value, as opposed to compile. I mean, there's no concept of compiled here, but whatever. Sometimes arrays still need to keep on growing. Sorry, I'm not really saying that this is Rust inspired so far. Why is like why are we using this? Putting this at the end, like it should really be here, the brackets, but it's possible to leave the size of the array empty, in which case it will keep on growing until it hits an entry which is all zeros. Sorry, I already read that. Loop sized, sometimes arrays need to keep on growing as long as a certain condition is met. Okay, so you can have while like this. It's interesting. This is so there's actually a standard library as well. Standard mem read unsigned. $sign. Okay. It's specifically useful to combine it with the break statement. Oh, like this. So just while true, then break. Okay. Again, like it's kind of unclear. Like this really, like again, like segment doesn't know that it's being used with a while loop necessarily. So that's kind of dodgy. Optimized arrays. Big arrays take a long time to compute and take a lot of memory. Because of this, arrays of built-in types are automatically optimized to only create one instance of the array type and move it around accordingly. And there are also custom types, yeah. Static. Same size only. Okay, I don't really understand what that means, but I guess we'll see. Char and char 16, types act differently when they're using an array. Displays a string. Yeah. Pointers are variables that treat their value as an address to find the address of the value they are pointing to. Yeah, there are pointers. Like built in. God damn, bro, this notation is actually pissing me off. What do you mean U16 star pointer, bro? Put it on the U16. It's tied to the type. Dog, is this C++ inspired or is this C inspired? I feel like I'm being lied to now. Are we still at 12%? Bloody hell. Updating this is gonna be a doozy. Literally, why is it taking so long? Nothing I've installed so far from source has taken this long. U16 pointer, U32. What the fuck? A pointer whose address is U32 and points to U16. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. This is interesting. I mean, it's not like super applicable to, I guess, other like actual systems languages, but for this specifically, because like okay, so like it's also a pointer in the traditional sense. Like it's not a memory pointer; it's a pointer in the file. So this is cool. So how do I use the value of pointer then? It points to a U16, right? Yeah. So like if I use pointer, does it just give me a U16? Because that's quite useful. This code declares because usually there's an optimization for size where people stick the strings in a file at the end, especially if the strings can vary in length, and then have pointers to the strings. In 0 editor, you have to like define a function that will like jump ahead, read it, go back, like you have to like store it somehow. It's kind of messy, but this would be very clean. This code declares like a pointer whose address is a U32 and points to U16. Yeah, I just read that. This is a pointer to an array of 10 U32s, but it's only a 16. I don't know why you have a negative pointer, but okay. The address will always be treated as absolutes. Make sure to set the base address of your data correctly in order for pointers to work as intended. The address is absolute. Oh yeah, shit. Can you have relative addresses? I need to know that. Cause what if it's like, I don't know. Oh no, this is absolute. That's okay. But I assume the value of the pointer will tell you what the offset is. So that's okay. That's just made me think of something. Yeah, here. No, it doesn't show it. Never mind. Okay, so there are bit fields. Oop, thing's frozen. Okay. Yeah, so I do like this notation. I think that's cool. I might steal this from, again, like the wiki stuff that I do. In fact, let me just open the wiki real quick. The old one, ImHex's. We have moved to a new wiki, but Yeah, like I need to port this stuff to wiki.gg ASAP. Okay. What's this? This is my thing. I need to see per param. Yep. So if I look at the data, this is like what I have: the data type, the variable, and the description. I guess the same as what this just used, right? But really, I use this for documentation purposes, where I use this binary template format, like this. But if maybe a pattern file would be better, to be like self-documenting. So I could use that instead. But also like for the table, like string pointer, like if I just had like this just doesn't tell me what the size of the pointer is, right? So it'd be good to specify that. Although I mean, usually the pointer size is consistent throughout the entire file, and it depends on the system. So like in ASBR, they're U64, whereas in ASB, All-Star Battle, which was an older game on the PS3, that one is U32, because that system uses U32 bits. What's U32 size pointers? Right, it's a 32-bit console. So anyway, that just would be always treated absolutely. We should have set the base address. Okay, bit fields. They're similar to structs, but they address individual unaligned bits instead. They can be used to decode bit flags or other types that use less than 8 bits to store a value. Yep. Each entry inside of a bit field consists of a field name followed by a colon, and the size of the field in bits. A single field cannot occupy more than 64 bits. Actually, sometimes I see like things that I don't really understand. I should really think about bit fields more. Like something that like seems like it doesn't like make sense, like some random number that doesn't make sense as an integer or a float or anything. Maybe it's a bit field. I should really consider that more often. Although usually when I see those, they're U32, or like they're 32 bits. So it'd be weird to have 32 flags. But anyway, bit fields can also be nested or used as arrays instead of other bit fields. Okay. They're unsigned by default. How's this work? So like if it is 1, it's 5, it's 0, it's 0. Or are these sizes? Those are sizes, right? Like 4 bits for assigned value. Oh, I see. Okay, that makes sense. Besides this, it's also possible to interleave regular types with bit fields. Oh. Okay. Right, but that's like 16 bits. Using full-size fields and bit fields will always cause the current bit offset to be aligned to the next full byte boundary. It's also possible to insert padding between fields using the padding syntax. Nice. So padding, I guess, just call that. Although honestly, I wouldn't call it padding. I just use like an underscore to like just discard it. Or like a star or something. Structs are data types that bundle multiple variables together into one single type. A very simple struct for a 3D vector floats might look like this. Yep. Also, I mean, the good thing here is that I assume you can use padding as a name as many times as you want, and you would never have naming conflicts, which is quite important. On the Supercell editor, that's quite an annoyance. Structs are data types. Yep, I just read this. Placing it into memory using the placement syntax will place all members of the struct directly adjacent to each other. There's no padding between struct members. You can add padding as well, though. Again, with the padding keyword. Okay, so it's like this. Okay, fair enough then. Because this exists, then this is also consistent. That's fine. There is inheritance. What the hell? It allows copying of all members of the parent struct into the child struct. The struct child now contains type, value, and string. What? Like in that order? Like if I now instantiate a child struct, what would that look like? Would it contain all 3 variables or what? Or like would it just... Yeah, I have no idea. Look at that. My family made nachos. Holy image. Yeah, I want to have lunch, but honestly, I don't feel like cooking fried rice right now. I gotta find like a meal that's like really easy to cook, and that isn't like the same thing I have for dinner. Anonymous members, it's possible to declare variables. Declare variables inside of structs or unions without giving them a name. Ah, very good. Okay, so what you do here in 00 editor by convention is you just put like you just call it unknown. What I did and what others do as well, some others would just do like UNK for unknown, and then the offset, the byte offset within the struct. So like if it's the first one, it'd be unknown 00. If it's like at an offset of 12, it'd be unknown 0 C for in hex, right, and so on and so forth. But yeah, having it just nameless structs or members, sorry, is very cool. Conditional parsing. Okay, I do look forward to this. Unions are similar to structs in that they bundle multiple variables together into a new type. However, they all share the same start address. That's cool. Honestly, I mean, would you use this much? Probably not. I mean, okay, so, okay, well, no, because like data can contain unions, right? Yeah, I know they can, but they're usually tagged unions, because otherwise they don't really make sense, do they? So you can just conditionally parse it, but this is not useless, I guess. Declarations are useful to give existing types a new name, and optionally add extra specifiers to them. Oh, cool. The following code creates a new type called offset, which is a big endian 32-bit unsigned integer. What a mouthful. It can be used in place of any other type now. That's actually kind of cool. So yeah, so I could say like, I could define a pointer type, right? Assuming that like throughout this entire game, whatever, the pointer is always the same thing. And then if I ever want to change it between games, I could redefine it. Well, I don't know if I can do that, but okay. But still cool. For declaration, having two types that recursively reference each other, you can afford to declare them. How do they even, like, how does it even work? I wonder. Does it just like go back and forth until it reaches the end of the file? Templates. Oh, what the fuck? We got templates. That is quite powerful. They work for both structs, unions, and using, or both, like all. Oh. I wonder then why even like not create like for the pointer type, why not just make it a struct? Because like it does this, which is like, you know, not let, like it does like U16, I don't know, like color, whatever, U32, right? Why not just do, sorry, U16 pointer, which I would definitely do by this. Like, why not just do, no, because then I guess it'd be like pointer U16 U32. But like that isn't terrible. Yeah, anyway, yeah, fair enough. But like it's just like if you support templates, why not do that? I feel like that'd be idiomatic. Templates can be used to substitute parts of a custom type members types. By the way, I'm not complaining. I think that the other syntax is better than template syntax. Templates can be used with struct. Yeah, I just read that. So you can have multiple. So what I'm wondering then is, can you actually use this to pass arguments as well? Like, let's say I want to pass, like, again, like a count to a child. Yes. No. No, I lied. And you can also curry them. Is that currying? No, not really. Well, I guess, like, whatever. These templates can then be used to create concrete types. Cool. Like here, like pointer U32, U64, like you could just do that. Would this be useful? I mean, it's very powerful, obviously, that, and it's cool that it exists, but would I use this myself? I can't think of any scenarios right now. But maybe for like more complex file formats, it'd be particularly important. I don't know. But okay, that's cool. The templates can then be used. Okay, non-type template parameters. You can pass expressions of types, numbers, strings, or variables. You can. Yes. See, look. This is what I mean. Like, you pass the size here for this. Perfect. Okay, now this looks promising. This looks very promising. I think you can pass data to structs in 00 editor, if I'm not mistaken. Like a type def, but I can't remember how it works. A bit like functions. It's very weird. It's very weird and a bit hacky. But yeah, this is awesome. This is awesome indeed. So there is an array type, in theory then. Not that you need to use it, but like, it's there. Pattern local variables. In fact, I could create my own custom pointer type, couldn't I? If I wanted to. It's possible to declare local variables instead of patterns that don't show up in the final type. Yes, local variables are quite important. But can be used to store information for later use. Just use equals. Cool. So in 00 editor, you do local equals, or like local thingy, but here you don't need it, so you just assign it a value. That's cool. Local variables are very useful. And you can use the export attributes. Okay, I like this. Putting export at the end is interesting. There are attributes in 00 editor, and they're quite powerful. So like, I keep saying powerful, but they are. So like, you can have you can set the foreground color of the thing, the background color of the thing, the name, the display name in the table. You can all do those. You can do all of those via attributes. But it uses kind of like HTML syntax. So like, let's say I had a uint32 foo, whatever, like that, right? And then before that, I would have these tags, and I'll do like fg color equals like, oh, like red or something, or like cull red. I can't remember how it works. And like name equals foo, like let's say I want to capitalize it, like that. That's how attributes work in 00 editor. But here they use something else, so I do look forward to how that is, because it's kind of cumbersome. Cool. Alright, I'm quite happy with that. Obviously I have some gripes, like this being S, and I can't remember what else I had actually. Maybe I mentioned it already, but anyway, they'll come up later if they exist. Oh wait, I can edit this on GitHub directly. That's cool. Okay, like of all the open source projects that I would contribute to, I think this is the main one I probably could. So I do look forward to that, maybe. It's been 37 minutes. I'm gonna turn the light on. I want to figure out. Okay. I want to figure out if there are like exercises I can do while sitting in my chair, so I can get like, you know, super buff while sitting down. Wouldn't that be cool? Variable placement. Right. So this is literally. I mean, it's not the deciding factor because 00 editor has it pretty bad anyway, but I really have high hopes for this. High expectations, I should say. High wants. In order for the runtime to start decoding data, variables need to be placed somewhere in the binary data. Right, so you just use at, very cool, very simple. A great use. Finally, the at symbol is being used for what it was meant to be, which is to say at. Goddamn. This creates a new unsigned 32-bit variable named myPlaceVariable and places it at address. The runtime will now treat the 4 bytes as this address. Yep. It isn't limited to built-in types, all types, yeah. Is that it? So I think what it fails to mention is that if I place another variable after this, it will also continue, right, from this address. Placing variables isn't limited to, yeah, I just read that. Sometimes it's necessary to store data globally while the pattern is running. For this, global variables can be used. What does that mean? Are these local? I mean, not local, but like, are these like user set, i.e. they don't appear in the thing? That's unclear. Maybe I could actually contribute to the documentation. Fucking hell, bro. Open in VS Code, Claude Code, Codex, open ChatGPT, open in Claude. Fucking hell. What's this, by the way? Table of contents. Yeah, so I assume that these are user. These ones don't show up in the thing. It doesn't say, but I don't understand why it wouldn't be like that. Okay, here's a function, by the way. As void. Collected pointers. The same placement syntax may also be used inside of structs to specify where patterns are supposed to be placed in memory. These variables will not contribute to the overall size of the struct. Place in memory where? Like, relatively or absolutely? Okay, yeah, this documentation definitely needs updating. I would love to contribute to that. Last updated 4 months ago, so no one's really hopping on, are they? Yeah, what the fuck? So can you... So but the question is, can you have a variable address or not? Right? I mean, I guess you can use pointers instead to say, like, if you need to do it dynamically. So that's fine. But they don't specify it, which is quite dodgy. Quite annoying, I could say. Namespaces. Nice. Good. This is actually very important to have, like, a whole system, like a library, like, of different files. Yep, double colon syntax, very cool, very nice. Nested and reopened namespaces. What does that mean? Like, reuse them? So same as fucking... Separation between public type and internal helper logic. That's interesting. So, like, yeah, because, like, you don't have, like, classes and stuff, like, with, like, public and private, but you do have namespaces. That's fine. Yeah, cool. I guess. I don't know why it really matters, but game impl format user. What's this format? Game impl. What? Is this calling a function by, like, string? Return standard format user. Dun. It must do. But why does it do it by string and not just directly? That's weird. Yeah, that is really weird. Maybe because it's like an attribute. I don't know about that. Okay, expressions. A plus B minus B. Yeah, modulus, split shifting, of course. Equality, comparisons, greater than, less than, not, and, or, XOR. Ternary as well, sorry. Parentheses and function call. Okay. Address of. Ooh, fairly useful. Size of, type name of. Okay. It can be a variable either by naming it directly or finding it through member access. If you use a $sign operator, you can query about the loaded data. So address of is the base address of the loaded data. Size of loaded data. So if I do size of this in, like, a struct, would it give me the size of the struct? I guess. Again, that's really unclear. That could be more specific. String operators. A plus B is for concatenation. I will always say, by the way, plus should not be used on strings, okay? Plus should be used for addition, like adding numbers together. Like, the idea is you add them together. I think if you want to do string concatenation, you should do plus plus from Haskell. I think that's much better. Not just, because, like, operator overloading is a devil or whatever, but because, like, functionally speaking, like, they're different. Like, one is adding, and one is, like, adding them next to each other. Like, it's quite different, right? Plus should, like, be, like, a way to fuse them. String times 3 to repetition. Like, again, like that as well. Like, times, I'd rather have that, But I don't know. Maybe I'm just too pedantic. Let's call equality, inequality. Yeah. Member access, .var, array, parent.var, right? And this is for the current pattern. So structural union. Okay, what? Referring to the current pattern, going to be used inside of structure union. Accessing a variable inside the parent structure union of the current structure union. Okay, dude, this wording is fucked. The parent operation refers to the caller structure union, not the parent struct in the inheritance section. It can also be used in a function. Sorry, fields, rename field. Sorry, let me just check real quick. How difficult is it to edit it? Like, I assume I have to make like a pull request, right? Because like the thing like about wikis is that anyone can edit it, and your edits do not have to be approved. Like maybe like the first like few edits they have to be, but like later on they don't have to be approved. You can just make edits. Then again, I guess the same is true for anything. Like on Git, you can add people as like people who don't need to be approved. But even so, it's like how to say this? Like a Wikipedia. Anyone can still edit a page. Like most pages, just edit them. Like you can, and you know, like they'll be reviewed later, but your initial edits will still go through, most likely. This was opened in October. Add to loop size array and types of MD. Okay. But yeah, I would like to contribute to this. I mean, it only is 21, which is quite surprising. But documentation is so important. Issues. Awesome. So I could like answer these. Yes. Okay. Just think about how I can contribute. Assuming I even use this tool, maybe it'll suck and I'll not use it. But that is unlikely so far. Pattern data shows the fuck. So there is set display name. Parent.fields. Oh, like this. Dude, that's so bad. Like it should pass this as an argument, and then do like this, and then like do like this dot fields or something. This is just not good, bro. This is really bad. I do hate this. Like I genuinely hate this. But okay. $sign up dollar operator. The dollar operator is a special operator which expands to the current offset within the current pattern. What? Is it? It's not what I said somewhere else. Am I tripping, or was that completely like that's not what it was? Before it was like, yeah, what? Okay, so there are two different uses for the dollar operator, I guess. That's really jarring, and should be better documented. So standard print $sign is the current offset. Why $sign? Why not just do like an actual like a function or something, like a global function or like a standard library function? I mean, sure, because like it's so important, I guess. But like to call it an operator is just false. Like it's not an operator. It's a constant, or like well not constant. It's an alias for a function. I guess that's what an operator is. But like since when does an operator take no operands? A nullary operator. Okay. Fair enough. Is it possible to assign a value to the dollar operator to change the current cursor position? Aye. Yeah, so it's not an operator, is it? It's a fucking variable that just has this name. I really don't like this. But like, because yeah, you know what? I don't mind it. My bigger issue is that the dollar operator has a different use as well, which isn't what this is. But yeah, honestly, I would just use like the ampersand, because like the ampersand should be like the ampersand is historically used for address, and I don't think it's used for anything else in this language. So yeah, that's okay. And you can use it as an array, of course, that's fine. You can store it in a global variable. Hold on, is it byte? Yes, by byte. You can store it in a global variable and access it later. Right, but this is copied, right? Not by reference. Casting operator. In fact, can you have references? Like a store by reference. I don't know why you'd want to. Casting operator changes the type of an expression into another. Oh, just like that. Okay. Functions. Parameter types need to be specified explicitly. Return type is automatically deduced. Why, bro? Why? Why are we doing this? Fuck, bro. Fuck. There's no way. Why? Okay. Can we like make like a pull request to allow explicit typing if we want to? Huh? If A is more than B, return B. Also, like this is like it says it's Rust inspired, but it's kind of like missing out on a lot of the good Rust features. Like, why even have return statements? Well, like, why not supports just return A more than if A more than B, return if A more than B, then B else A. You know, I don't know. Let's take an array of parameters, specify its type as ref auto. Okay, so there's a ref keyword. To take an array parameter. Chat, this sucks. This fucking sucks. Okay, so far this looks like more powerful than 0 editor, but I know I'm gonna have like some fucking pains with using this shit sometimes. Cause like, what the fuck, bro? For loops use commas. Okay. Assuming that the comma operator is not a thing, that's fine. But like, why? Like, of all the C++ things you choose to change, you change that, which is just gonna like trip people up. I just don't get it. I don't get it, man. Standard print. Why is it ref auto for an array? Why can't I just pass it as an array? Like, cause like it's a reference. But like, why auto? Like, is that necessary, or can I do a U32 array? I don't like it. I really don't like this so far. This part. Hold on. Is this finished, by the way? 43%. Fuck me. Why is this so slow? Am I tripping? Like, I'm not like on VPN or anything. I don't know why it's so fucking... Like, it's been like almost an hour, and it's on 43%, which is insane for building up from source. Hold on, ImHex, so slow to build from source. Diffing is extremely slow. This was 324. I don't know, why is it so slow? That's so weird. To take an array parameter, specifies type as ref auto, fucking hell, global scope, okay. Auto missing the global scope will get executed when the program is executed. What? Oh, okay, I see. Like a Python. So like, yeah, because like there's no main function. The only difference is that new types can be defined in the global scope. Same as 0 editor. There has to be a faster way to say 0 editor. 0 editor. Maybe I'll call it like Zoz. 010 Zoz. Yeah, you know what? There you go. New thing, Zoz editor. Zozzy. Let me just say here. Fuck me. So laggy. Jesus Christ. There you go. We are making history. Parameter packs. To allow passing an unlimited number of parameters, parameter packs can be used. Where in what language do they call that? Auto first, auto rest. So it could also be used for like type templates, you know, like an alternative. But yeah, cool. Default parameters, yeah, okay, reference parameters, did you ref? Yeah, like here the dollar sign. Oh, I get it, because like that increases the position. Okay, that's fine. Variables can be declared in a similar fashion as a side of functions. They will be, sorry. Variables can be declared in a similar fashion as outside of functions. Yo, English is really hard to read sometimes. Variables can be declared in a similar fashion as outside of functions. It's really awkward. But they will be put onto the function stack instead of being highlighted. There should be a comma there. That's such a different clause. They'll be put onto the function stack instead of being. Sorry, like I know I'm being really pedantic, you know, and I keep saying these things, but like it makes it hard to read. Okay, so fuck me. We put onto the function stack instead of being highlighted. What does that mean? The function stack. Okay, I see. So it's just saying like they won't be global. Like lifetime. Okay, bro. You do a const. Because sometimes may also be used inside of functions. Honestly, again, like for a language inspired by Rust, not having things be const by default is kind of fumbling the bag, right? Because like when you declare whatever, bro. It is possible to declare constants. Yeah, use the constant control statements, if else statements, if else. You honestly, elif is cooking. Just saying. While loops work similar to if statements. Example, blah blah. For loops are another kind of loop similar to the while loop. Why is it so long? The first block is for declaring an iterating variable. The second block is a condition used to determine when the loop should run again. The third block only executes after the body of the loop. And uses commas. And you can't do I++. What? What? Okay, this plus equals. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not too attached to I++. But like, why would you remove it though? Like, is it really causing issues? Okay, bro. I guess it's like the have one way to do thing, but like you can do this as well. So I don't really know that. You know what I'm saying? Loop control flow statements. Ooh, my bones. Again, like a missed opportunity to have like Rust style for loops, which are range based. But I get it. I mean, I don't get it, but like this is fine. Just the comments are just weird. Loop control flow statements instead of loops. Also, like, why would you not have? I'm sorry. Why would you not have I++? Like the whole reason I++ like really exists is for loops. You know. Yeah, I don't like that. Instead of loops, the break and continue keyword may be used to control the execution flow inside of the loop. When a break statement is reached, the loop is terminated immediately and code continues. Blah, 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 blah. Nothing crazy. Look, I get why they need to explain this all to people who like have never used C before, but it like in the documentation, I think it can also just say this feature is exactly like C, or this is like C++, but it uses a comma instead of a semicolon. Like, just say that, you know, like, so that people who know the language can just say, oh, okay, then move on. Because instead, what I'm doing is like reading through this thing I already know, but just like just in case there's like some detail that's like different, you know, like just tell me what's different. Inside of loops, the break and continue. Okay, I'm gonna assume that's the same. Return statements. The return keyword is used. Yeah, why can't you do it? Why can't you do explicit? I don't understand. When using the placement syntax and the functions, a view acts very similar to a place pattern. Sorry, what? At address. I'm confused. Are addresses tied to scope, or a view acts very similar to a place pattern? You can access and pass that value around as if it was a place variable. However, it will not generate an output pattern like a regular placement would. I understand. Yeah, so if it's in a function, look, my only issue is that it's really unclear. It's not always super clear, or super like, yeah, clear, when a variable is local or not. Like local or like file showing, you know? Like this doesn't show. But like, how the fuck am I supposed to know that without like also like, okay, it's in a function, or like it's an if statement. Also, like for if statements and for loops and while loops. Surely not, right? Like, surely I can still have it show conditionally. I hope that's just like unclear documentation. User-defined literals are ultimately syntactic sugar for function calls. What the fuck? Look, I am someone who likes features and languages. If you look at the last few videos on this channel, you see I looked at Odin, C3, and Revo, right? And there's some really good features in C3, right? What the fuck is this? What do you mean takes a single character? Like a single argument? A single parameter? This is goofy as fuck. This is just a way to have dot syntax for literals. So why not just have that instead? Oh. What the fuck? This is weird. I'm trying to think of like a useful... What? Okay, so this should 100% say parameter. Yeah. Why? Like okay. Like I'm not gonna like cry about it, but like, why is that a feature? That's so useless. I don't understand. 3 times. Did I say that correctly? Okay. I don't know what to say. That's it's just not good. It's just bad. I don't understand. Like it's just not good. I don't understand that. Right. So let me make a little commit here. So if I just do edit, I have to fork it, right? Okay. Oh my god. Let's do this. Let's do this. So we're gonna fork this repository. We're gonna fork this repository. Make an edit. It uses Rust syntax. Okay, bro. It uses Rust for its thing, for its thingy. Changes to parameter. Commit changes. Correct parameter type. Yep. I mean, this is AI generated, but that's okay. Okay. Can I change the name of the patch? Patch 1? Nah, it's fine to call it that, I think. Oh, should I though? Let me ask Claude here for some advice. I'm making a simple pull request via GitHub, and after forking, it has named my branch patch 1. Should I keep this name or change it? It's a very simple single word documentation correction. Create pull request. Okay, this is just wrong actually, what the fuck. Corrected a typo saying that user defined literals take a single character when I assume it should say parameter. Correct typo under user defined literals. What's the function? What's this section called? Okay. Okay, pull request, right? Yay! Alright, now we'll see how long it takes for that to get back. Very simple, obviously, but I'm sure they'll have no issue just saying, okay. If actually, oh, by the way, I remember I was doing, was it Let's Get Rusty? No. I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was like the NeoVim, yeah, it was like a NeoVim learning thing. One of the other sentences was just bad grammar to the point where like it didn't really even make sense, and I sent a pull request, and it got rejected, and they're just like, no, what do you mean? It makes perfect sense, but it didn't make perfect sense. It didn't make sense. In fact, so maybe I can find it. But yeah, that shit is still on my mind, because it's like fucking hell. The first pull request I tried to make, and it's just like gets rejected for no fucking reason. Where would I see my pull requests? Do I have to go repositories? Surely not. It's gotta be a way I can do it, right? Is it this? All issues, all pull requests. Closed. I've had 4. I mean, I think some are from friends, right? Yeah, these 3 are from. Oh no, actually no. Oh yeah, I did do this. So I did it for shark pools. That was cool. This was just this. This was MPI license for JPI. Yeah, very simple. But this was the thing for NeoVim. Yeah, and they said this changes don't make sense, and it's just closed. Like, what the fuck do you mean doesn't make sense? You can explain it. Like, what do you mean doesn't make sense? Okay, like, to show you the context, right? Because you can see it here. Actually, no. Fuck, go back. Yeah, here. Files changed. Ah, stop. Files changed. Okay, same thing, I guess. Look, the something command only changes the first match of the in the line. But here says the SS command only changed the first match of the in the line. But like, we haven't... Okay, actually, I do need more context for this to make sense. Oh my god, bro. Maybe that's why they said it doesn't make sense. But like, maybe look at it then? That's not really my fault. Okay, I can do that instead. Look. The substitute command. Type this to substitute new for old, okay? So move the cursor to the line below, marked this. The command only changes the first match of the in the line. Type this. Like... Like you see that, look, it says type to change every occurrence in the whole file. Type this and note this, the something command only changes the first match of the in the line. It says changed. So like, is it like note this? Maybe, I don't know. I mean, you know, obviously it's like a very small thing, but like I'm just saying it was annoying how it was just that. This doesn't make sense. Boom. Like maybe explain why. I mean, like I get they're busy and all, but that one generally just didn't make sense to me. Anyway, functions, control flow. In the Python language, not all structs need to be the same size or the same layout. It's possible to change what variables are getting declared based on the value of other variables. Yeah, so you can do if. Yeah, so what's it saying about if statements being like making these private? I don't understand that. I said in the global scope, but even then, like, why would it be struct specific? I don't know. Maybe it's wrong, and I have to look at that later. So how's the color being set here? I do wonder. Type. Okay. So you get if statements. Oh, there actually are match for enums. Yeah, that's fine. There's no error handling in this language, right? So that's fine. So match is exclusively used as like a switch statement, which makes you wonder why not just use a switch statement. But actually, yeah, why not just make it switch, and then just give it like, I don't know, man. Like it's even built like a switch statement, but just without the case and break, I guess. But break is optional anyway. Nowadays, most languages kind of don't make it default, from what I've seen. There's a wildcard. Fair enough, I guess. Is it matching on? No, it's matching on a tuple. Wait, are there tuples in this language? Or is it just specific to match? And like, can I match as a struct directly? The OR operator between multiple values, dot for a range. That's cool. I mean, I don't know how useful this will really be, because it's... Nah, whatever. Like, it's weird that it allows this, but it doesn't allow for range loops. Pattern control flow. There's breaking. Breaks what? The occurrence array process creation is terminated. Oh, right. So if there's 1,000, it breaks. Okay. I just don't like how it's like here, because like you have no guarantee it is an array, but maybe also like returns, right? Like if this was like if this had more items, breaking would return early, which is useful. But maybe not. I don't know. Continue. So this discards itself. Okay. The searcher pattern. What? Placing a struct pattern at a dynamically determined offset. Test equals read unsigned 1 if test does not equal needle. Where's needle here? This command in a haystack. What's it doing? It's searching for something. Why not just build that into the standard library, where you can just search for something? But okay. Return statements outside of functions can terminate execution of the current program. This is work for structs. I assume so. Try catch statements. Huh? So there are errors. How do they error? I didn't really see any examples of that before. Okay. Oh, are we done? Nope. In and out variables are a way to pass config or input data into the pattern. Oh yeah. So by the way, I think this uses ImGUI, which is it's called ImHex, I guess, which is not great, but I guess it makes it easier to edit. For each in and out variable, it creates an entry in the settings tab of the pattern editor view. Okay. I see, that's pretty cool. Before executing the pattern, the user can now enter a value in the input field of the in variable. Likewise, once it's finished executing, whatever value has been written to the out variable will be displayed in the label. The following code shows a simple pattern that reads in the value of an input value, multiplies by 2, and then writes it back into output value. Sure. Why? The settings tab. Ooh, mind you, this is good because it means that you can have settings for your inputs. So like, let's say, like for example, there's not really a way to automatically detect which game an XSpin file is from. Like it could be from ASBR, it could be from Eyes of Heaven, it could be from a Naruto game instead, right? So having a setting where the user can specify the game would be very important, and you cannot do that through Zozzy, as far as I'm aware. For those new to the stream, Zozzy means 010 editor. Attributes are special directives that can add extra configurations. Yes, finally, fucking hell. So you got colors, which are passed as strings instead of integers. I mean, for the sake of enginess, fine, but static. Static's an attribute as opposed to going here. Okay, sure. As you wish. It's also possible to multiply multiple attributes to the same variable or type. Wait, so if a struct has a static size, you ought to declare it as static, which is weird. Why is that not the default behavior? Why not just have dynamic as a keyword in that case. That's weird. Unless static does more than just like, I mean, like, I know like what it does, it allows optimizations, but like, does it do anything like memory wise in terms of that? I don't know. Even then, dynamic is fine. It's just possible to apply multiple attributes to the same variable or type. Attribute 1, attribute 2. Okay. Variable attributes, so you got color, name for display name, comment, nice, format, and format read. This is useful. Why is format read a thing though, as opposed to like, why is format? Or are these just identical? Okay, sure. Format entries, format read entries. Are these also identical? I guess so. Hidden, nice. Inline. Good. Good. Transform. Oh my god. Horrendous. Horrendous. I don't like this. I think it's evil. And it only works for reading. But not for writing. I mean, it's like a getter and setter, right? But just like, what the fuck? Okay, fine. Entries. Pointer base. Send a pointer. Wait, hold on. Pointer base function name. Yeah, why the function name strings? I mean, like, again, it might be like convenient for the scripting language, but is there not a way to do it without that? Yeah, I'm so hung up on why this is a string. Like, even if like, I don't know, like, it's too difficult to have like a proper lookup table, whatever, and like rules for that, you could still remove the quotation marks and say, like, for now I'll do like an ad hoc implementation, whatever, but like I'll do it properly later or something. But like now, like, changing this is probably not going to be it's not going to happen, because I assume it wants to keep the language consistent. The function returns a single argument representing the original pointer address that was read. I don't really understand what this is doing. That's fine. No unique address. Place in memory, but not increment the current cursor count position. Sorry. Okay, Sue, sure. I don't know why it's called no unique address. Why don't I call it like no increment or something? Single color. So okay, so I guess they're automatic colorings then. Static. We saw this before. It automizes the arrays of button types, so they don't use up as much memory. However, if the layout of the type is applied to is not static, then it'd be wrong. It's undefined behavior. Fucking hell. See what I mean? It's this undefined behavior. Like, why doesn't the... Why not? Well, because it'd be slow to enforce it, I guess. But this is what I'm saying. Like, if you just had a dynamic keyword, and then like only allow dynamic stuff if it's marked dynamic, like, is that really hard to check? I don't know. I don't know. Like even at a runtime, doesn't the language know that it's like static? So if it like sees something dynamic happen, it could just crash and say error, you cannot do this. Like I don't understand why that can't be enforced. But maybe having a UB just opens up more possibilities. But like it's UB, like a language really shouldn't have undefined behavior. It's only really if like you need to optimize for something that you make it undefined. But okay. This actually changes the ordering and alignment of the fields. I mean, I'm aware again, like this is a scripting language. It should be fast and like, you know, like you don't have to compile it, you know. Bit field ordering, sealed. It does not display the implementation details. Like it's treated like a built-in type. For custom types, okay, cool. I guess. Highlight hidden. Works the same way as a hidden attribute, but only hides the highlighting of the variable and not the variable in the pattern data view. What does highlighting even mean? I feel like we kind of glossed over that. Export. Yeah, it's literally not even defined. Okay. By default, local pattern variable. So what? Exporting a pattern local variables. Right, per variable. I assume. Sorry, those are type attributes. What are these? Variable attributes. What's a type? But export isn't per type, is it? It's per variable. Fixed size. Speaking of size, that's the wrong size. Can we use the force struct to be specific size? When applied to a struct whose size is smaller than size, it is padded out to be that exact size. Useful. Genuinely useful. Should I make another pull request? That's to be a mistake, right? Why is that not rendered properly? Yeah, fix markdown formatting for fixed size attribute. Updated formatting of the fixed size attribute. Updated the markdown formatting of the fixed size attribute. To use hashtag instead of just bold. Now consistent with the other headings. Proposed changes. Yep. That is just to make sure I don't make a stupid mistake. No, looks good. I got 3 pull requests. I mean 2 pull requests, but there are now 3 in total. Attributes are special directives. Why did I go to the top? Right, because I had to scroll up. Preprocessor. The preprocessor works in a similar fashion to one found in C. All that lines to start with the hashtag. What the fuck? Holy font. Ugh. Why does it look like that? Why does the hashtag look like that? Chat, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? I don't like this. Help me. Why the fuck is it so big? What the fuck? Oh my god. What? Okay. Dude, what is this font? Why is everything so slow today? I might actually get a new browser. No, low key. I like Vivaldi, but honestly, there's too much. Like, I like the extensions. All I need is extensions, bookmarks, and vertical tabs. That's all I need. I don't need any of this stuff. Like this sidebar shit that I don't even use. Layer, font, bro. What's a font? Font family. Can you please type? Font mono. Actually, how's this site made? Was it made using there's like a site that makes docs. I can't remember what it is. What? Dude, what's the variable? Take me to it. It's lagging. IBM Plex Mono. Yeah, fuck off. Just close. Just go away. Leave me if you're not gonna help me. Why is it so laggy? What is going on my system? I mean, I don't have a way to check like all my running processes. Maybe this is contributing to the lag. Also OBS, but like, I don't know. Define my constant. I mean, yeah, obviously, you can do that, but you shouldn't. It uses include. No, I just wanted a module system. Oh my god, if def, if and def, and if. Oh well. I mean, it's like still. Wait, what? Hexpat is the fucking file extension? Okay. Error, something went wrong. Pragma. Yeah, I feel like we've kind of skimmed over the fucking error handling phase. Yeah, so for Pragma you got Endian, you got MIME. Specifies the MIME type of files that can be interpreted by this pattern. Cool. In Zozzy, you do it via the comments, which is really goofy. So this is good. Magic, same as MIME, I guess. Is MIME the file extension or is it the signature? I should know this. Internet mail extension. Right, yeah, so it is a file extension. Used by mail. I do recall that actually. Shiza. Let me add that to my Obsidian. I need to really fucking go through these. MIME comes from email and is a standard for file extensions. Magic, you can use question marks. Cool. I will of course use this. Base address, see by default. Eval depth. For recursion. Okay, I'll probably avoid recursion anyway. Types are kind of inevitable. Well, I don't know. Array limits. Yeah, why is huge arrays an issue? I don't understand that. Like, it says like it's an optimization to like create huge arrays, but like a huge array is just a big array, no? I guess to like free RAM. Yeah. No. Yeah. No, that makes sense. I guess. Pattern limit. This pragma sets the maximum number of patterns allowed to be created. Like, really, I'd care more about array size than array count, like entries. Just saying. This pragma sets the maximum number of patterns allowed to be created to prevent the runtime using up a lot of memory when creating a lot of patterns. Okay. So 0x1000 is actually bigger than 1000. It's like, I don't know, 16 to the power of 4. Right? Which is quite big. Yeah, it's that number. 65,000. And this is even bigger. I guess just 2 times that. Once. Pragma once. Includable once. So should I use header guards or should I use pragma once? That is the question. I guess I can just use pragma once. Because like the whole like debate about pragma once is that not only is it not standard, but it's also I can't remember the exact reason, but like it's also like just not there's a like the like it, there's a difference, and it's quite important that makes include guards better. Pragma once versus include guards. The import statement. So there is an import statement. Please have modules properly. Why have both though? Directive each keeping a separate list of files marked with pragma once. Bitfield order. Debug. Any scope push and pop will be logged to the console. Any memory access will be logged to the console. So just logs shit to the console. Cool. Useful, I guess. Author. Says the author. Description. Yeah, of course. I mean, that all makes sense for like preprocessor. You're not going to build that into the language, are you? Build that into the language. Unless you have like a defined metadata thing, but that's just a bit... Why bother? Allow edits. Oh, so that is that for writing. Okay. Importing modules. Let's have a look. Including imports. Okay, so thank God there is importing. Yes, I will use this. But is there a difference, or is it just the same? Is it just copy paste? The import statement. Both will. It's probably just copy paste. So this is preprocessor. Replaces the directive with all the lexical tokens from the include for file. Right. So it tokenizes first. No, that makes sense. Including all the preprocessor defines. On inclusion, the system maintains its own list of files marked with pragma once. To use the include directive, specify a path to the file to include followed to the to use the include directive, specify a path to the file to include followed by the file extension. Specify a path to the file to include followed by the file extension. English. The path can be enclosed in double quotes or pointy braces. Yeah, same as C. The extension is optional. Okay, cool. If the path has no extension, the preprocessor looks in the pattern folder and provide a path. What? 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 If there's no extension, looks in the pattern folder at the provided path. Why? Why don't I just take it? I mean, I assume the extension is always the same. I mean, like, same with C++, which I never really understood, or like C. Like, when is a header ever not going to be like .h or .hpp? Like, why'd you need to specify it? I mean, I know why. It's just a thing of the past, but like, it's a bit weird. It looks for a file with extensions .pat and hexpat. Is there a difference between these two? If none is specified, however, by convention, well, no, so it does. So the extension is optional, but if it's not there, it looks for this. I don't understand that. That include, however, by convention, the extension is specified when including files by convention. Okay, sure. Can you explain the difference between the pat and hexpat? Import statements is processed during the parsing stage. Okay, so there is a difference. Once a parser encounters a statement, a separate parser is created to parse the imported file as a separate compilation unit. It's then inserted into the abstract syntax tree. They don't propagate. So, do I need to pragma once with this though? The import keyword is followed by the path to the file to include with a dot as the folder separator. Right, and this does not use extensions. The import statement can accept a string argument instead. Same as hashtag include. Import as statement. Libraries generally tend to place all their content under a specific namespace to prevent name collisions. Right, so there are modules, but there's no automatic namespacing. This makes the code pretty verbose often. This often makes the code pretty verbose. To work around this, it is possible to change the namespace, the types. To work around this, it's possible to change the namespace, the types and functions are being imported into using the as keyword. Can I just say, bad grammar not only makes what you're reading hard to read, but knowing that bad grammar exists actually fucks your brain, so that when you see grammar that's correct, like punctuation that's correct, but is often misused, then you think it's the wrong one, correct it, realize that when it was correct, they have to uncorrect it. Like here, I thought it was doing a list, the namespace, the types, and functions. But no, it's just possible to change the namespace, the types and functions are being imported into. Which is here, that's where I put that for clarity. The namespace that the types and functions are being imported into. But hey, that's just me. Using the as keyword. Import standard.ctype. Where the fuck is the as here? Standard.ctype as C. Right, because I like to do, yeah, I get it. Otherwise you have to do like standard ctype. But here you can just do that for alias. Okay. Importing other patterns. Import star from PE as executable. Nice. Yeah. Okay. Oh, wait, what? Okay. I guess. So this allows you to treat it as a struct. Huh. But this is import star. Can I change the star to something else? I guess not. Alter namespace. I'm sorry, what's the auto for? Yeah, why not just have no auto? I don't understand that. Import the standard type namespace with the type and rename it to test. How's that related to this? I don't understand that. Include guards, pragma once. I thought we just saw this. To prevent duplicate declarations, files meant for importing the other files can use pragma once. Important. Keep their own list of files marked with pragma once. Ooh, you should only ever include a file using include or import. I mean, that's the issue with supporting both, man. Manual include guards. You can't use include guards for hashing include, but for imports you should use pragma once then. Files meant for importing to other files. Okay. The standard library headers all use the import statement internally, and as such should be imported using import. But like, how are you meant to know that, you know? So dumb. However, this only pertains to standard library headers. Custom patterns can still import standard library headers while using hash include for files that are part of the client project. And there are 4 declarations. Man, why would you like add the pain of C to your language? I don't understand why you would willingly do that. The pattern language, there are comments. Okay, shocker. There are doc comments. Ooh, where do docs come up? There's global, local, and this. And like in Java doc, I guess. Sure. Why would you use this? That's did 3 years ago. Like, are there actual like feature like uses for this? Like in a auto documentation generation? Sections are a way to create additional buffers of data whose content can be generated dynamically. My section. I thought I literally just said do not include standard library stuff using hashtag include. Or am I tripping? Also, like, what's hex pat? Is there a difference? I still don't know if there's a difference. In my section. Which section is a standard library type? Huh? Encrypted data, transform data. Why is it? Can you only do it with standard mem section? Because like this is baked into the language, but this isn't, which is a bit bizarre. Okay, I'm going to the library in a second. God, can this finish already? Why is it so slow? I don't understand. Is it because like I'm recording or what? Like it really shouldn't be this slow. It's literally taking like over an hour and a half. Okay. Libraries. So there's a hex library. Yeah, okay, there is. Provider. Hex prov. Get information. So like the file path, file name, file extension. Cool. Core. What's a virtual file? HTTP. What? Okay, is that cool? I don't know if that's even useful. Deck demangle. Ooh. What's it demangling based on? I actually have no fucking clue. Why is it called deck? Decompress? This is the bytes of a pattern using zlib. Compression. Okay. Mangled. Angster. Yeah, these are definitely empty. I can see why the issue said that. JSON. Wait, what? Can I make a JSON parser using this without having to write my own in C++? That would be quite huge. Low-key. Standard. Never use functions from the built-in namespace. Okay, array. What? So there is a standard array type, but why? For shits and gigs? Also, why? No, that's just definition. Why? Why? Just why? There's no point. Byte-sized array. That means limits. Fairly useful, although I prefer. I prefer what C3 does, where you just have attributes, like whatever fucking metadata applied to the properties given to the variables. So you can just like u32.size or something. There's a random library. There's a file library. Which can be useful, I guess. Core. Okay, endian as member. Is there a pointer class? Nullable pointer. Right, so if it's 0, it's padding. If it's non-zero, it's a pointer type. Why is that not the default behavior? Like obviously, like if it's a null pointer, it points to nothing. So why would it be treated as something? Fuck it hell, man. At least it's in the library. Functions, what's the pointer? Okay, memory. Line 2. Sorry, why are these? Oh, these are structs. What's it? What's that struct? Mem bytes. Just a sequence of bytes. Why is this not a built-in data type? Deadass. Endian. Okay. Magic search. End of file. Reach a line 2. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Math. For accumulate. I mean, like, how was this written? Like, what was it? Was this language written from from scratch by a human? Like, was it bootstrapped off C? Like, why do we need these? Why could we just make the language just better? You know, math min, math max, clamp, a bunch of other things which are useful. Hashing. CRC8. I need CRC32. Perfect. This will be quite useful, I must say. But you need to know the pattern, I guess, but that's fine. Init, poly. Yeah, okay. That's cool though. FXPT, fixed point value. Okay. System, assert, warn, environment, IO. Oh yeah, right. Printing, format, standard error. Aborts evaluation of the code, so it's actually an exception. Fair enough. Warnings also pretty cool. Time. Okay, string. Null string. A null terminated ASCII string. Sure. Size string. I don't get why you'd build these into why would you build these into the language, and then like wrap them in your library? Like why not just have them? Why not just have the language handle it? Like Rust doesn't have an array type in its library, but I don't think it does, because it just has arrays in the language, and you just use arrays like you would use arrays, you know. Like the only reason C++ has standard array is for reasons I can't quite remember. I think to like give it more like functions applied to it or something. I don't know. Types commented. What's standard attribute? Huh. What? I'm sorry. Why would I use this when there's when there's already an attributes feature? Why would I derive from this? Inherit. Like, it's literally just this. Like, it just adds the tag. I don't know why I love. C type. Okay. And bit. Okay. And there's a type library. Fucking hell, it's quite big actually. MAC address, IP address, bits, byte. Why isn't this like the? Sorry, what? I'm confused. Why are these standard library? Why is that different from a type library? Why is it not just inside the standard library? I got path, size again. Why is it not just in the thing? Base, hex, octal. This is useful actually. What is it? Not really. Yeah, it's like, again, like there's already ways to do it, so why not just do it that way? GUID, float 16. Okay, so there's a float 16. Why is this not in the language? Why is this not just in the language? Why the fuck is this not? Why is this not in the language? I don't understand. BCD. Lab 128. Time. Format. Color. RGB. Yeah. C types. Okay. Win32. Oh my god. Evil. Actually, no, evil. 010. Holy moly. That was not necessary. Linux. Oh, I wasn't aware that the Linux kernel had these kind of types. It's kind of cool. Sorry, what? But it's not like a specific size. Like it's not like a unsigned or assigned, is it? I don't understand. Rust types as well. F32. Why would you not just use the? I mean, you can define them, I guess. But like, okay, I see enough. Well, it does look more useful than Zozzy, so I will probably use this application once it fucking builds. But I do have my criticisms of the language design. But whatever, I'll use it and I'll see what it goes. Either way, it's still be just better than using Zozzy, because Zozzy uses C style and it's old and therefore it has technical depth, and although I'm sure someone could make a much better language than this, honestly, than what we have here. I say no offense, but that is kind of offensive, I guess. But like, fuck me, I'm just being honest here. It is still better than existing options. So hey, there's that. I literally am just waiting for this to install. So well, I want to go to the library to study with my friends, my buddies, my pals. So I guess I'll end the video here, because this is not gonna finish for a while. And I will make a new video where I actually get to try it out. Haha. So installation issues aside, this has been fairly interesting. And yeah, something else I can look at. I mean, this is like a preview, I guess, right? Of ImHex on Mac, because for some reason everyone loves fucking Mac. You got file, view. Despite being ImHex, it does look, sorry, ImGUI, it does look decent. I can't scroll. Okay, that's a bit broken, I guess. Oh. So, let's say I want to open a file. Open this gyro picture. There we go. So what'd you get? So you get a pattern editor here. I can't scroll. I can scroll that one. Oh, it's just like really offset. Okay, I can't scroll. I can scroll like this though. Sure. Got bytes here. I can see all the data's here. What the fuck? Why does it use these names? Why does it use these names? Ugh. Why does it use these names? Why is there a T? Why is there an underscore T? There's no... I can't scroll. I can't scroll. There's no... But how... That's okay. It doesn't matter. It's just like, what are we doing? Cool. Pattern data here. There's no pattern yet, but this is the file. Why is it clicking so... Okay, so like if I were to highlight this, would it tell me what it is? I can't really like see. No, I can't see the values, bro. Okay, I mean it's a preview. What can you do? There's a Discord server. I am gonna join. I'm in so many servers, by the way. I'm literally in like, I don't know how many. That's fine. What the hell? 2 DMs. Okay. ImHex. There's a GitHub. Hey, it's me. I made a pull request. Isn't that cool? Pattern language dev. Yeah, okay. Is this an actual user? Yeah. It would be cool to make this a bit cooler. There's the man himself with the goated profile picture. He's in the Quickshell server, so I guess he's on Arch or something, maybe Nix. Reverse engineering, he's in Rust, of course. Let's complete. Is that it? Cool. Yep. Okay. So I'll close this. Don't really need it anymore. These will get done when they get done. Okay. 84%. Yeah, I'm gonna go eat lunch, and there we go. So I didn't actually use ImHex in this video, but I looked at the documentation. The language is, again, like it's better than 0.10 or Zosy. It has some promising features. I'm not super happy with a lot of its design decisions, and the documentation goes to be better, just to make things a bit more clear as well. But I will learn on the fly anyway, and maybe I can help contribute to the documentation, because, you know, writing good documentation is not particularly easy or fun, right? So I do understand, and yeah, it's just like the main things that really get me are the C stuff, like having, like I get having like what you call them, preprocessors, right? But like having hashtag include when you have import, why? Like no one, like even C++ programmers do not want hashtag include, they want import, right? And like C programmers probably, like Rust has import. Like if you're Rust inspired, why don't you have that? Why is the syntax so similar to C? Like if it doesn't have to be, and yeah, I don't know. It's kind of goofy, and like the type names S32. Like I get it, but at the same time, the fact that it can be confused with string is kind of annoying. But like it's okay, I guess. But like why? It's just like it's just the ways in which it chooses to be similar to C, for reasons that I can only assume are to satisfy C programmers. But then it changes random things, like seemingly arbitrary things, like I32 to S32, or using commas inside of for loops instead of semicolons. Like these are just kind of strange decisions, you know. But whatever, it's a language. I'll learn the language. I think it's particularly annoying because it's a scripting language, right? Like a scripting language is not general purpose. Like it's fine to learn a completely new syntax for a general purpose language that you will use for like, you know, for like a decade to come, you know, because like you use it for everything. But like if it's a scripting language that I can only use for this one program, I don't want to learn like a crazy new syntax or whatever. Like I just want to use it like the way I would expect to use another language. Like if you're going to use U32, I would expect you to have I32, right? Or if you're going to use C-style syntax for everything else, then I would expect you to use semicolons inside a for loop, you know, or like if you like, or like to support I++, you know, like it's just things that I don't want to have to like learn for this specific scripting language that I'm only ever going to use for this one program. So that's my issue there. But anyway, otherwise, I mean, they're fairly minor. I'll get used to it. I'm just happy that the language seems to be more powerful than Saucy, and I do hope that it's better than I looked at before. Because I can't remember what it was the last time I looked into it, but it wasn't quite as powerful as it seems now. But maybe I'm just wrong, and maybe I just fucking wasn't paying close enough attention. But anyway, I'll see. Yeah. So subscribe to look at me use ImHex.